I'm here to talk about Penguin from Batman, and I think Penguin deserves some respect. Like, arguably doesn't deserve respect for the type of person that he is, because he's a villainous person, but as a fictional villain to enjoy, Penguin deserves some respect, and I feel like sometimes he doesn't get that. In a lot of classic versions of Batman, Penguin served as Batman's second arch enemy and was often the second most prominent Batman villain. And it doesn't necessarily feel that way as much anymore, but in a lot of the early comics, Penguin showed up a lot. He pretty much showed up as much as Joker did in the original live action TV series and in the Filmation cartoons. He was even working with Joker when they guest starred Scooby Doo. Penguin really was Batman's second biggest enemy and seemed to be the only villain that could show up as often as Joker did. So he was a huge part of the Batman franchise, one of the biggest, and he was incredibly entertaining to watch. He served as a villain that could challenge Batman's mind with how brilliant he is, with all his clever schemes, and Burgess Meredith's amazing performance helped Penguin a lot. Penguin was just a very charming character. Great design. Loved the top hat and the monocle, the umbrella, the fancy suits that he wears. Penguin was awesome. I love Penguin. And Penguin got changed quite a bit for the Tim Burton film, although I do love it for that film. It's not really what I want Penguin to be like in other versions, but it's amazing in that film. And Penguin, I feel like has been used a little less often in adaptations after that. He was in Batman the Animated Series. He was one of the villains that showed up often enough, but he didn't necessarily feel like Batman's second archenemy necessarily. He was the one big villain other than Joker that didn't even need an origin story, so that helped. But I don't know. I feel like he wasn't used as often. In the Batman cartoon show, he got to feel like Batman's second archenemy again, and he had a huge role in that, and I loved him in that. Although I think Penguin not appearing in the Christopher Nolan films kind of hurt Penguin's popularity because those were such popular films and Penguin wasn't in them. Um, I guess unless Christopher Nolan came back and did another movie that had Penguin in it, which would be interesting, but so that kind of hurt Penguin's popularity. Then he wasn't really in Beware the Batman, and so Penguin, I feel like he's not necessarily as recognized as Batman's second archenemy. At least it doesn't feel like that. And I don't know. I feel like Penguin's such a great character in so many different stories, and he's one of the most consistent characters. Where I enjoy just about every version of Penguin that's out there, and he just seems like a character that I can rely on to entertain me and just be an interesting character to watch. And he did have a huge role in Gotham, so that helped. And so Penguin popularity could be coming back to a certain extent, but I feel like Penguin being considered Batman's second arch enemy, I think he's earned that. I think he at least deserves to be considered one of the biggest Batman villains. And if you don't think he's the second arch enemy, that's fair. But I think Penguin definitely needs to be very high up there in terms of Batman's biggest enemies. And you can let me know in the comments what you think of that. Do you think he's Batman's second arch enemy? Or do you think he's a bit lower there? Do you love the Penguin? Feel free to share all your thoughts about the Penguin in the comments.